Okay, so for tonight's dinner we're having black bean chili cornbread bake with classic fruit cocktail on the side. I've also served it with a dollop of sour cream. I've made a video of this recipe and I will include that link in the description box below. So that is tonight's dinner, black bean chili cornbread bake with fruit cocktail. And here is tonight's dinner. We're having a roast pork loin, stuffing, and asparagus. A nice simple classic dinner with lots of good yummy stuffing there to go along with the pork. And we love asparagus, especially in the spring. So yeah, this is one of our favorite meals, very easy to prepare. We make up the pork loin from the Costco pork loin roasts and they're really delicious every single time. So that is our dinner this evening, roast pork, stuffing, and asparagus. And here's tonight's dinner. We're having hamburger pinwheels with mixed vegetables on the side. And to serve with the pinwheels, I always like to make up a can of cream of mushroom soup. I just like the way that it goes with this, and we usually just pour it over the top of these. This is just ground hamburger cooked. And I put in a little of the dried minced onion, and then I lay it out on the crescent rolls, add a little cheddar cheese, roll it up, slice it, and bake it. And they're always really good. Everybody really likes them. And again, we serve them with the cream of mushroom soup poured over the top, just like this. Just like that, to give them a little bit of moisture and just add to the flavor a little bit. They're really, really good. So that is our dinner tonight, hamburger, pinwheels, and vegetables. And here's tonight's dinner. We're having a mustard chicken over whole wheat couscous with veggies on the side. Originally I was going to make lemon chicken, but I didn't have any lemons, so I decided to switch it up and make a mustard sauce for the top of the chicken, just with some Dijon and brown sugar and some seasonings and a little olive oil to kind of bind it together. And then I baked the chicken and served it over the Trader Joe's whole wheat couscous with some veggies. So that is tonight's dinner, a simple mustard chicken over couscous with veggies. Okay, so here's tonight's dinner. We're having pulled pork sandwiches with coleslaw and potato chips. We have a bunch of company over and it's a nice hot summery day. Well, it's not really summer yet, but it sure feels like it out there anyway. So what I did was I cooked my pulled pork in the crock pot all day with a little garlic and onions, and we just topped it with some of our favorite Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. And then I like to take my coleslaw and actually put it on the top of my pulled pork sandwich. So I'm going to do that now. So I like to top my pulled pork sandwich with the coleslaw and then put the lid on there, the bun lid on there. And then there we go. We have our nice, delicious pulled pork sandwich with coleslaw and chips. And some people like the coleslaw on the side instead, but I really think that the coleslaw in the sandwich really keeps everything moist and delicious and just adds a nice crunch and a nice flavor to the barbecue pork. Anyway, so that is tonight's dinner, barbecue pulled pork sandwiches with coleslaw and potato chips. Okay, so here's tonight's dinner. I've taken last night's pulled pork and added some barbecue sauce, some sauteed onions and bell peppers, and a little soy sauce and a tiny pinch of sugar. And we've turned this into sweet and sour pork over rice. This is the meal we always make after we make a pulled pork. We have our pulled pork the first night, and this is what we always have the second night. It's a really yummy meal, and it's a fun way to make two meals out of one big pork shoulder. So this is tonight's meal, sweet and sour pulled pork over rice. So for tonight's dinner, we're having baked chicken thighs, mashed potatoes with homemade gravy, and broccoli. I made the gravy from the drippings of the baked chicken and seasoned the chicken with a little bit of chicken Montreal seasonings. And otherwise, a very easy meal to prepare and definitely a classic family favorite. For tonight's dinner, we are having taco salad. I've just seasoned a little ground beef and made up some refried beans, as well as some black beans and corn and lettuce and cheese and olives and sour cream and onions and a little taco sauce. And everybody can just assemble their taco salads the way they like to. The base of the taco salad is a flat taco shell instead of the taco salad bowls. You could also use tortilla chips. Anyway, that is tonight's dinner, an easy, delicious taco salad. And here's tonight's dinner. We're having a bacon asparagus pasta toss. I've just made up some pasta. In this case, I use spaghetti rigatoni, but I often will use like a linguine. A linguine is really nice for this. And I've just heated up a can of fire roasted tomatoes, tossed some of that with the pasta, as well as some chopped up asparagus spears and chopped up cooked bacon and a little olive oil, and you toss that all together and sprinkle on some Parmesan cheese. It's a very easy dinner and everybody really loves it. The bacon's yummy and the asparagus adds a really nice flavor, as do the fire roasted tomatoes. So that's tonight's dinner, bacon asparagus pasta toss. Okay, so for tonight's dinner we are having sloppy joes. This is a homemade recipe, and it is actually my Nana's recipe. She's my great-grandma, and she had this recipe that we all love, and it is referred to as Nana's barbecue because it is slightly barbecue flavored sloppy joe recipe, and I will leave the link for this recipe below as well. I have also added a tablespoon of sugar to this recipe. It's something I often do with dishes rich in tomato. I don't like a lot of acidity, so I tend to add just a little spoonful of sugar to kind of break down that acidity, which I think really helps out a lot of spaghetti sauce or sloppy joe type tomato-based recipes. And we are serving it with some canned peaches. Just a nice classic spring and summer dish that I love to prepare, and it's just a nice classic family dinner. Sloppy joes or Nana's barbecue with some peaches.